This is Topic A. Joining me on the newsline this morning, celebrity chef Curtis Aikens. Chef Aikens, how are you?
I am fabulous. Good morning. I'm calling. Well, I'm being called out of California, so forgive me for a little raspy voice today. But I'm excited about getting to Springfield, guys. I'm looking forward to being there, cooking for the neighborhood.
Yeah. Now, so this is coming up Thursday, the 12th, at the YMCA, the new YMCA, out at Isles and Archer Elevator Road. What happens when you come to something like this and cook?
Well, I just try to bring. I feel like my job is to put fun back in the kitchen, Joe. I mean, I'm one of those guys that I love what I do. In fact, Julia Child always talks about the fact that the only celebrity in the kitchen is the food. So I really don't refer to myself as a celebrity chef. I'm just a guy who presents great food. And nowadays, I mean, I don't know if you guys know my whole history, but you know, health literacy is a big thing with me. I'm a type 2 diabetic, so I want to share the word nowadays about getting out and taking charge of this disease. That those with type 2, we can do something about that. We can control the effects and live long lives. And people with type 1 diabetes, of course, with their insulin, they can live long, productive, healthy lives as well. So I really want to just share the message about good food. There are no labels. There's no such thing as diabetic food. It's just good food. So that's what I'm trying to do when I come to Springfield. Just a wonderful community event, and I look forward to being a part of it.
Yeah, what are some of the challenges that people face when they? Because I mean, I love to cook, and my 3 kids have celiac disease, so we're dealing with the wheat thing. But what are some of the challenges that diabetics have in the kitchen?
Well, in the kitchen, and I tell folks, here's the key thing to it. I eat anything I want, but the key is portion control. But I am going to do a couple of recipes for folks. I'm cutting back on the saturated fat. That's one of the keys. Cutting back on the amount of carbohydrates that are in the meal. So it's just a matter of portion control is the big thing, but also just having a good time in that kitchen. Eating the right amount of vegetables, fruits and vegetables, kind of a balanced diet when you sit down to the plate. But in the kitchen, I try to cut back on the fats. I cut down on the carbohydrates, the sugars, if you will, because that's what happens. Sugar converts to any carbohydrate converts to sugar in the body, and what happens to us diabetics is we have too much sugar floating around in there, so the fuel that we need can't get into the bloodstream. So that's the key. You're just cutting down that sugar that's floating around the bloodstream, Joe.
Will you be you'll be doing some cooking demonstrations then at the Y?
Yes, I'm doing at least 3 recipes. I believe I'm going to do a wonderful vegetarian gumbo. I'm going to do a spinach salad. I think I've got a chili verde I'm doing there. I don't have the recipes in front of me, but I believe those are the 3 that I'm doing. I was just up in Newport, Oregon yesterday, and I prepared a couple of dishes, and I tell you, I can't wait to cook in Springfield.
Because you kind of grew up and started cooking it when you were young, right?
Well, I've always been in the kitchen with my mom. I tell folks I'm a mama taught chef. Mama brought, mama taught, and so I grew up with her in the kitchen. My mother always talked about her kitchen just being a one-butt kitchen. There was only room for one butt in that kitchen. It was a small kitchen, but she figured out a way to squeeze me in there with her, and I learned from her, and I still learn from my mother. And hopefully I'm sharing with my kids, and then hopefully your kids too, and next week when I'm in Springfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've, of course, been involved with the Food Network since the beginning. Is that right?
I was one of the original chefs of the Food Network. We started the network in '93. Before that, I was with ABC's Good Morning America and ABC's Home Show, which nowadays ABC's Home Show has a new life on the Hallmark Network as Home and Family. Oh. And I started appearing lately on Home and Family on the Hallmark Channel. I'll be there again on the 18th doing some, again, I don't like to use the label. Chet Atkins is a great guitar player. We were talking about music one day,
right.
And we talked about I was talking about labels. He says, Curtis, it's all music. We don't need labels. Good music is good music. And that's what I'm trying to do when it comes to food. Good food is good food, but it's healthy, good for you, but it also tastes great. As a chef, I'm about food that tastes good. But if I know what your dietary needs are, I want to prepare food for you that tastes good, and I don't want to use a label. Maybe this meal doesn't have flour in it. Maybe this meal doesn't have meat in it, but still a great meal, a balanced meal. So instead of labeling it vegetarian, hey, Chef Aikens is going to cook a damn good meal. That's what I try to do, right?
All right, Curtis, you're going to be in town coming up at the YMCA. It's June 12th. Need to RSVP by the 9th. The number is 875-9011. I'll put that in the podcast. Chef, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Just please, everyone, come out. Nova Nordisk is a great company that I'm working with, and I just can't wait to be a part of the Springfield community. And, God bless. Thank you so much for having me on your show this morning.
We'll see you next week, Chef.
All righty.